Hello everyone, welcome to ChessVisor, your wise choice to improve your chess. In today's video, I am going to show you one of my rapid games which I played on Elite Chess recently. So before we begin this video, if you are new here and watching the channel for the first time, so please consider subscribing to the channel and press the bell icon to get notified for the future videos. So without much delay, let's start the game now. So I was handling the white pieces. So I started the game with e4. My opponent was handling the black pieces, so he replied with the sharp Sicilian. And recently I was teaching my students regarding the closed Sicilian, so I went knight c3. So to practice that, I was playing the closed Sicilian. So knight c3 I played. The main moves like knight c6 he was playing, and then bishop to b5, knight to d4, bishop to c4, e6, and after this I can play knight f3. So these are the main moves so far. So here he played knight e7, another main move. Here we have small trap here, which I will show you in a moment. So say for example, after knight takes d4 in the game it was played. Okay, so knight takes d4, c takes d4, and then here I play knight b5. Okay, to trying to recover the pawn. And also it is not only I'm recovering the pawn, it is also a small a cheap threat I am threatening here on d6. It's a smothered checkmate. In case in this position, if black is not aware of this, and if he plays the normal move like e5, just a pass move, and we can simply put the knight on d6 and it's a smothered checkmate. You can always look for this type of checkmate in the Sicilian defense. Whenever your knight goes to b5, you always try to give the check on d6. Whether it is a checkmate or check, it is useful, but make sure that that bishop's diagonal is cut off. Okay, otherwise it is a blunder, right? So here another option for black to immediately neutralize or to get slight advantage here is to play simply d5. So he missed that anyway. So d5, e takes d5, e takes d5, and then bishop to b3, and then knight f5. Already black is slightly better. But in the game, he did not go down this variation. Rather, he played knight c6, the natural move. There is no problem in this move because it puts the knight in a better square, and also it opens the diagonal for the bishop, and also it also defends the pawn in the center. Okay, so here I played c3. I want to get rid of this pawn. So I know it is a double pawn, but it is going to create some headache for me, so I don't want to keep the pawn in the center. So I want to kick that pawn, or get this pawn away. So I played c3, and he went bishop to c5. Here it's not a mistake actually, but now I can kick the bishop with a b4. It's because of c3, so b4, and I thought, okay, the bishop will go to e7, but then he played the other move, that is bishop b6. Now knight to d6 check. The now black king has two options. One is to play king e7, another is to play king f8. The right way to play the position is to play the king e7 and threaten the knight. In fact, it is the best move in the position. After this, maybe b5, the counter attack, because there is no escape square for my knight. So he has to take the knight. B takes c6, d takes c6. Even after this, after king c7, black is okay, and there is no problem for black. Even though the king is in off guard position, it will be very easy for him to develop his rest of the pieces without any problem. So here instead of that, he played the other move, that is king f8. That's a mistake actually. This king f8 move confirms that the king rook is not coming to game very quick, right? So that's the problem with this move. So I played a4, so trying to grab more space on the queen side. Or I could have played the other move also. Here in this position, b5 is also an option. So knight e5 and then queen h5. So kind of threatening two things here. So knight is defending the mate here, so maybe queen f6 is the right way. So castles, and then knight takes c4, and then knight takes c4, d5. So knight takes b6, it takes b6, e5, queen f5, and then queen h4. So white is clearly better here. It's not we are going to win the game immediately. We are threatening this small trap here. So he has to create some escape square for the king. So that is also there. Otherwise, he can even develop the bishop also. But the thing is, the pawn is hanging. So so many things he has to consider as a black here. So he in the game after a4, instead of b5, I played the direct a4. I didn't play the b5 idea. So a4 I played, and he went a6 to give some square for the bishop. and here I simply castled. So in this position, immediately that one tactical move coming to our mind is bishop a3. That is also possible. So to give the discovery, the king has to move away, so that is also possible. But then I did not go down this line. Okay, rather I simply castled on the king side. So here he played bishop c7, hitting my knight. The knight has got no escape square at this junction. So here I simply took the bishop, knight takes c8. It's not a good trade actually for my knight, because the bishop did not move or spend at least any tempo. So after rook takes c8, I played bishop a3 now. So here he went king g8, and okay, here, so it's not very clear how do we attack the king, uncastle the king. So okay, the main thing is whenever you want to, or whenever you are trying to attack, so you have to consider a few things. Okay, look at this piece pose. Okay, all the four pieces are staying like they are out of action here, I believe. So here if I can reroute my pieces to the king side, already the bishop is eyeing the king side. Okay, two bishops are already eyeing, or cutting off few squares already indirectly. So if I can activate my rest of the two pieces, or one piece to the towards the king side, I can easily generate on a strong counter attack here. But the problem is how do I open the position? So I thought for a minute or so, I played the f4 move. So here his idea is very simple. As I was mentioning earlier, the b5 is coming, the queen h5 is very strong threat. So f5, so all the moves are possible here for white. So he played simply d5, cutting off this bishop's diagonal. So simply I took once here after e takes d5, e takes d5. Instead of keeping this bishop on a2 or b3, so okay, I thought okay, the bishop will be helpful here in attacking this h7 square, and also when I put the bishop on d3, it will be controlling both sides of the board. So that's the idea of placing the bishop on d3 rather than keeping the bishop on a2 or b3. So I played bishop to d3 simply, and here he went queen f6. So the last move is kind of, it's not a mistake actually, but it leaves the rook undefended. So I gained some time on the rook. The queen g4 I played, so the rook is under attack. So he has to move the rook now, right? So he played rook to d8. Another tactical idea I was thinking about in this position is, see, look at this two pieces which is sitting on dark squares. I have the dark square bishop. It is also or indirectly, attacking this e7 square. The only thing is I have to remove this defender, and I have to defend one more time or attack one more time the e7 square, and then the tactics can be executed. It's very simple tactics, but I tried it anyway. So I played b5. So I wanted to kick the knight. In this position, he could capture here once, and after a takes b5, he can play knight a5. So after that, the game could continue with a rook a e1, bishop to d6, trying to neutralize that thing. So bishop takes d6, queen takes d6, and then f5. Already black is slightly worse here, or white is clearly better. So in this position, he played the immediate knight a5. He did not capture here, rather he played knight a5 immediately. So I went with my old plan, that is rook a e1. So here the main threat is bishop to e7. Okay, so here he played the absolute blunder. Okay, but that blunder actually invited the other move. So I was thinking about bishop to e7, the small tactical idea, but you can now pause the video and try to find the brilliant move which is present in the position. So you can take up to 5 to 10 seconds for this. So I hope you found this brilliant queen sacrifice, that is queen to d7. See, the problem is when I played bishop to d3, it was attacking, or it is attacking h7, and he played this move, and it is still covered, right? And he has the back rank issue now. The only defender who is guarding the back rank is the rook. So that is why queen to d7 is a brilliant move now. Now multiple things are hanging. Okay, the back rank is hanging, that is the checkmate, and the bishop is hanging. Okay, so many things are hanging. So in this position, my opponent simply played I don't know, for some reason he played bishop to b6, and I immediately played rook e8 check, and in this position my opponent resigns. It's because of the following variation, that is simply rook takes e8 and then queen takes e8. The same checkmate can happen the other way, that is queen sacrifice followed by the rook checkmate. So that is also possible. And here if we consider any other move rather than random bishop move, so what is the other option for black? So maybe g6, creating some escape square for the king. In that case we can simply play queen takes c7. Okay, so a lot of things are hanging here, so we can simply go ahead and capture the bishop, and again the same thing is coming and the knight is hanging. So I don't think black is going to survive longer now. So d takes c3, d takes c3, and then king h7. So white is completely crushing black. So in this position, I was able to find this move, that is queen to d7. So I thought of sharing this game to you guys. So if you have any brilliant games played, so please feel free to share with me. So I'll try to analyze and post it in our channel, that is Chesswiser. So in case if you are interested, so please share only the rapid games. Do not share the fast games like bullet or the blitz. Okay. So if you can share the rapid games, that would be great for others to learn. So if you think this video is helping you, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts, ideas, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. And you can share your games to the Leeches ID, that is Chesswiser. It's available on the channel, in the description, everywhere you can find the ID. So which is Leeches ID, Chesswiser. So yeah, so that's it for the day. Still, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, that is Chesswiser, please hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon to get notified for the future videos. As usual, this is Chesswiser, your wise choice to improve your chess.